It's been a while since I've done a video, and although you'll have to probably compete with the chickens and goats and pigs and other things to listen to me, but I figured it was important enough to let y'all know that a lot of things are going on, and you probably are already aware of. A lot of y'all probably scared, trying to figure out how the heck we ended up in a situation where we're in a civil war. You've got the left saying it, the right saying it, and me being an independent, I got people on both sides saying to me that I should join their cause. My friends, as an independent, as an anti-federalist, as a founding fathers citizen who loves his country, who stood up and served his country in many times, in many ways in my life, I have to tell you that the choice between left and right is a false choice. Neither side represents our inalienable rights. Neither side represents the vision of our founding fathers for us to be left alone and to live our lives, which is why we find ourselves in this situation, because those in power don't respect our choice to be left alone. They don't respect our choice to be parents. They don't respect our choice to go to church or do the things that we want to do, to homestead, to raise our own food, to check out of their system and check into ours. They don't respect those choices. And quite honestly, I'm sick of it. And I know you are too, because I hear from you all the time. You're sick of the left, you're sick of the right, and them dictating what side you're supposed to be on. Well, as for me, I'm on the side of the United States of America, my fellow citizens in the middle. Now, I'm going to clue you in on something. The latest statistics show that those people in the middle represent 45% of the population of this country. And you might not think that that's a majority, but let me clue you in that it is a majority, because the left and the right stand at about 27-28% support in this country. So while they may think that they're right, whether it be left or right, they're all exhibiting cult-like behavior. Whereas you can't have a common conversation and disagree on a few things and find common ground on others without being accused of being for the other side in some way. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm not on anybody's side but God's. My neighbors, my friends, my family. That's the side I'm on. I'm not on the left, and I don't think that I should be supporting some of those radical ideologies, and I'm not on the right, and I don't think I should be supporting those radical ideologies. None of them at all align with the vision of our founding fathers. At all. And they're all trying to convince you that they're all about apple pie or this or that. Well, the left is openly embracing socialism, and the right, well, totalitarianism sounds pretty good. Our way or the highway. That's definitely not the country that I was born in, not the country that I served, not the country I stand for. So both sides need to go take a hike as far as I'm concerned. And I think I'm just going to start writing in the voices that I want. I might write in Jesus Christ for president, maybe Moses for governor, because I'd rather have them, and I'd rather go to heaven and say, you know what? I didn't choose the lesser of two evils. I chose to vote for my principles. And until I get a choice on the ballot, y'all ain't getting my vote. And my choice is for representation. My choice is for community. My choice is for local control. My choice is for the same choices that my founding fathers, my ancestors, who bled for this country. That's my choice. I stand with them. I stand with my neighbors in the middle who think that both sides are crazy. Now, we've been silent too long. And anytime you hear anybody on the left or the right just shooting up there about how they're all right, just tell them to sit down and shut up, okay? Because it's time for the independents to step on in and say both sides are crazy. So whenever there's a comment on the left or the right, both sides are crazy. That's my answer. Both sides are bad. I aim to point out the hypocrisy on both sides and bring us back to the common sense that we used to have a long time ago in this nation that we don't have anymore. So if you don't want civil war, if you don't want this nation to fall apart, if you don't want your Walmarts to go away and all the cush life of us just being left alone to go away, then open your mouth before it's too late. I stand with the founding fathers who put this country on its feet. And you know, I'm an anti-federalist at heart, like half of our founding fathers, and I tend to think that our first government, the one under Articles of Confederation and Perpetual Union, had a lot of legs. Sure, it had problems, but I tell you what, our first government was based on rights. And right now, our current government seems to think that rights come from government. Well, they ought to check their history book, because inalienable rights is what our founding fathers stood for. No, they don't come from government. They come from our divine creator. Now, we have the right to worship or not worship, the right to do or not do, the right to participate or not participate, and that involves technology as well. We have the right to not have a digital ID, to not have an email, to not have these sort of things. And it's high time we stand up for these rights. We don't have to go on board with this new line of thinking anymore. It's called nullification, and it's what our founding fathers did best. And they had these associations. They'd get together with their neighbors, their friends, and they'd just say, we ain't going to do it. We don't care what you guys say. We're just going to do what we're going to do. Now, that's the type of movement that I can get behind. It's common everyday citizens saying, all sides are crazy. We're taking it back to the beginning. We're taking it back to the way it used to be, where representation is what we send to the office. And that's what our representatives are there to vote for us, to seek our will, and to shoot down all the stupid, crazy ideas that really ain't got no business in our life. So, with that being said, I think I'll cut it short. I haven't said anything in a long time. As you can see, I've got my winter beard on, but we don't have our 6-7 feet of snow base that we normally have up here in the mountains. So we're not really having the snowpack. So buckle up, people, because it's going to be a dry summer. That being said, thanks for tuning in. I'm sure there's going to be more. I've had it with the left and the right, as you guys know. None of them represent me, my family, or you. So I'm here to stand up for you, and I'm here to let you know there's a better way. And that's the way my ancestors, our founding fathers, had. And that is nullification on the stupidity of all sides. God bless y'all. I hope everything's going well. And I hope you've had a really good year. Last year was a doozy, but we're in for another bigger one. And a little bit of a sneak peek. Yeah, I'm wearing my pamphlet hat, and I'm writing again. And we got new issues coming out, new stuff coming out. And still working on that book, but I think it's more important that I get some history out and show you guys what our founding fathers had to say. God bless. Take care.